Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott. There's Dave up there. Oh, kilt day, I see.
Kilt.
And
put it in the kilt, lad.
All right, my commando friend. Today we have Mr. Moto's Gamble, 1938. Peter Lorre. I don't remember who else is in here. Key Luke from which our watchers and other astute people will know comes from Charlie Chan movies. I recognized other faces, but I realized this is what we see with a lot of these studios is the same actors. That's almost like a stable. That they have.
Lynn Barry was Penny Kendall. She was one of their stables, I think. And
Jane she was one I'd seen a lot. She was good. There's some interesting things in this movie. So, folks, this is a Mr. Moto movie. If you're familiar with Charlie Chan, this is another version of the Charlie Chan movies, only using another Asian detective character. This time he's a professor, Mr. Moto. What was the one that Vincent Price did?
Vincent Price, not Vincent Price. It's Boris Karloff. That
was it.
Mr. Wong.
Mr. Wong. Yeah,
Mr.
thank you.
Wong.
I was wrong. Boris Karloff.
Those are really good. I mean, oddly enough, Boris Karloff pulls it off too, but it's Boris Karloff. So you're like, okay.
I saw in the cast here, just on the listing, I didn't catch it on screen, but Lon Chaney Jr.'s in here.
He's one of the thugs.
Yeah,
I meant to text you the other day when I spotted him. I was like, holy crap, I never knew he did these cheap movies like this.
Yeah.
But that must have been how he got his acting.
This is a neat movie because it makes me think I'm watching an episode of Murder, She Wrote or Matlock or any of the, and I say this every time we watch Charlie Chan or a Mr. Moto film, it does feel like one of these serials. Here's your case. Here's how it goes. This, man, they had such a running gag with the kleptomaniac guy.
Oh, that was the character of what the heck was the guy's name?
He was so funny. He was taking a class from Mr. Moto.
Wellington. He was an ex-boxer, I think.
He was an ex-boxer, and he's taking this detective class from Mr. Moto so he could learn to how to remember where he stole stuff, where it came from. Well, he just finds stuff. So he could give it back because he couldn't help himself. So throughout the whole movie, my God, this bumbling idiot really solves the case.
He basically helps solve the case more than Lee Chan does.
Yeah. So he and Key Luke are together. I thought it was interesting. It's really hard for me to get past the obvious in this when we watch Charlie Chan and Peter Lorre. I will say and I'm not going to rehash it, folks. We can talk about white actors playing different parts all day long, not going there. That's what it is. 1938. Peter Lorre does a great job.
He does.
He really does. He does a really good job. This was better than the other one we watched, Mr. Moto. I thought he was a little stronger in this.
Well, he didn't have the fake teeth in.
That was it.
And when he said "so," it wasn't.
It was different.
Yeah, it wasn't so like
no,
like
it was
the really
it was
bad,
more.
Like, this was much more natural, like somebody would say it naturally.
Yes,
it still was probably said way too much, but it was. It didn't hit you in the face.
I did notice it. That was one of the things I noticed is he did not say so in the same manner, and he did not have the teeth. He was more subtle, more subdued, more believable as Mr. Moto. And we do get a chance to see him kick some ass. It's always so funny.
I love it. And he's more of a detective in this one, too. Because you think he's a detective in the other one, and then you find out he's just
an art dealer.
Jester. And now he's a detective or whatever. Not even sure what the hell he was. I was just assuming he was a detective because
he seemed like a professor, or he was teaching. He was teaching at it looked like a university class or whatever, teaching detective, or he was working for the police academy. I'm not sure because he was really in tight with the police. So,
but that cop wasn't going to let him out of the sights either because it was funny when they're at the fight and real quick.
Yeah.
I know I always go on. I caught myself again listening to one of our shows the other day, and I'm giving everything away. Basically, I'm going to do this real quick. Basically, he's given a class. He meets Lee Chan, which is Charlie Chan's son. They know each other. He knows Charlie Chan's.
It's a neat tie-in.
Yeah, nice tie-in. So they share the same universe, which is cool.
Yes.
And it could come in handy if they ever decided to have done a crossover. But it's a fight. There's a fighting ring. One of the fighters dies. He's in the ring, or he's at the ringside with a police officer. They have a small bet going on, and they're when the guy dies, the cop says, "You're coming with me, Moto, because you're the one who's better at this than I am. So come on." So he helps him solve this crime, and in so doing, one of the boxers is being held accountable for the guy's death, and it's not his fault. You find out throughout the show what really happened.
And that's what's cool. And one of the things with this is, this is a murder. It happens right in front of 10,000 people.
Right.
Which is really cool. Great setup. Great mystery. Dude, this kept me going. It took me a while, and I didn't figure it out until
there were a couple
Mr.
of
Moto told me.
That I think I had seen this once before, but I don't think I was paying attention. So I was like trying to figure out, okay, was it this guy? Was it the girl? Because at one point, somebody's doing something and they're wearing white gloves, and I'm like, yes. Oh, that's the guy's daughter. This is somebody else.
That's what I thought as well, and now we're spoiling. But
so I like the ending. It was a good surprise ending.
Yeah, it is a good surprise ending. That one got me. It's if you watched any of the murder mysteries, the Charlie Chan's, Matlock Murder, She Wrote, Remington Steele, we can go on and on. It's a great genre because it gets you invested and into it. Yeah. This was a fun one. I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected, just because of Key Luke and the kleptomaniac bubbling through everything was really funny and well done.
And I like you said, this had started out as a Charlie Chan movie. As a matter of fact, I pulled this up, and I'll read this real quick. Begun as a Charlie Chan film, Charlie Chan at the ringside, but after difficulties between 20th Century Fox and Chan star Warner Olin, the script was hastily rewritten to accommodate Fox's other Asian sleuth, Mr. Moto. The presence of Chan's son, Lee, is evidence of the grafting of one movie into another series. Producer Saul M. Wurtzel specifically ordered the writers to include Key Luke's character in the revised screenplay, though it has been reported that Orlin's death was the reason for this change from Chan. This was not the case. This film was released theatrically on 3/25/38. Orlin died 8/6/1938.
Okay.
So he may have been sick. That
may have been why he couldn't continue.
Was sicker in his lifetime. But I like the thought of this being a nice little murder mystery. And like you said, it keeps you guessing. It definitely keeps you guessing.
Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah, Key Luke is just freaking great in this. I like how the character of Mr. Moto treats Key Luke almost like his own son.
Yes, and he did have that vibe.
Very reminiscent of the way Charlie Chan treated Key Luke. Just trying to keep him out of trouble purpose. And out of the shooting,
because there's a scene. Range. There's a scene that doesn't make any sense to me, really, and I'll spoil this, and it deals with that sheriff that throws the nails on the road.
Exactly
none of that makes any sense whatsoever. No. But what happens when the sheriff brings up that guy, the klepto, I can't remember his name, and Wellington, and Key Luke's character, Lee Chan, and to release him. Yeah. And Mr. Moto's like, no, it'd be better if you keep these hardened criminals or whatever in jail. And so to keep us safe. And it was like, oh my God, he just blocked him away.
Just like Charlie Chan would have done.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, that was funny. And like you said, Junior was in this. What's his name? My mind went blank.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr. Thank you. My mind went blank again. Duh. I saw him walk in with one guy, one of the other thugs, and I thought, that looks a lot like Lon Chaney Jr., but he was wearing a hat and he was kind of slouched down a little bit and couldn't see him. and I didn't see him until the boxing ring whenever they were outside practicing, and he gets asked the question, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Holy crap, that is him! What is he doing in this?" It
just a part, just a role.
Yeah, just a part, just a little role for him, and I thought that was pretty cool. Ward Bond was Biff Moran, was the other boxer. It's a big guy, but it was funny because they actually mentioned about the weight class in here. While minimum weight now for heavyweight is about 200 pounds, at the time of the film it was 175.
Oh wow!
Thus, the boxers are announced as 179 and 194. They're actually over the required minimum weight for their category. But I remember watching them, and they were like the heavyweights, and I was like, "What? Those guys are not heavyweight boxers. Those are maybe medium or lightweight."
And see,
but
I have
then from then to now is like
well that, and I have wrestling brain where your heavyweights are 300 pounds, and they're not fat. They're just monsters.
Yeah, they all look like Tugboat Hooligan or whatever the hell that guy's name was.
So it's like, that's your heavyweight.
Yeah, that's a heavyweight. Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah. So this is a entertaining flick, about an hour and 12 minutes. Moves along at a good pace, except this is 1938. I'm sure there hadn't been a lot of boxing movies or sports movies done. The cinematography in this movie is serviceable, but there's a lot of fixed camera shots. A lot of them are all at the same distance and depth and framed almost all the same. It's a very static movie. That's a nitpick. That's only something I pick up because I just watched that shit. It's like, man, I would have shot this a different way. The boxing's a little jarring and feels like it goes on a little too long because the camera doesn't move. It's not exciting action, but it could have been.
The speed was a little, it was a little odd. Yeah. Like you sped that up.
Yeah.
Or you slowed it down. I'm not sure which.
There was something going on with that, and that could have been YouTube because what I watched was not great quality at all. Right. It was a blurry mess.
Really? I got a really good copy off of YouTube.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Oh, well, I clicked the wrong one.
I'll send you the link.
I've already seen it. I can see it enough. It was just, it was like watching a VHS tape.
Oh, no, mine was really clear. Mine was clear almost like Metropolis was.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
That was.
Metropolis looked really good. Really good.
I run into that with the Charlie Chan movies, where you get one that looks like it's on it almost looks like somebody's filming it outside on a canvas.
Yeah, this wasn't that bad.
And I'm like, what the?
This just was a little pixelated, and it was like, okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. It's the only place we could find these movies seem to be on YouTube. So. Yeah,
pretty much. And they're because I don't think the copyright is owned by anybody right now. I think they're like, I think they own the copies, but not the copyright. Is that?
I don't know.
Like the movies are old enough to where that's why nobody really.
I don't know if they're in public domain yet or not. I don't know at what point they become public domain, but it's probably not too far off. I wish they'd release stuff like this. I would be more than happy to rent or pay to see a nice, cleaned up, restored version of these. A lot of these old films that we've watched, I've seen them restored all the way up to 4K, and they look amazing. Creature from the Black Lagoon looked like it was filmed today, and it's like, God.
That's a really good copy.
That one that is so well done in that resolution, and there's so many that it works. So but I get it. We're a niche market. We're, not everybody's going back to look at the history of cinema like we have. And it's a shame because I have been enlightened to a lot of things that I would have never known about. A lot of movies I would have never watched, and seeing the lies of Hollywood is all I'm going to say about that.
Over again.
I watched these old movies and it's like, oh my God, there's gay people. There's black people. There's women in power. Yeah. Netflix did not a documentary. There was a miniseries called, I forget what the name of it was, but it was about Madam C.J. Walker, who was the first black female millionaire. She lived right next to a lot of these rich people. But during this, they showed scenes of Harlem at the time. And
yeah.
I thought of this because of your shirt.
Oh, I bought this
Yeah.
in Harlem, just to let you know, at a street vendor.
Harlem at that time looked like the place to be.
Oh, yeah, it was
amazing.
the Harlem Renaissance.
It was insane. It's like, we're not taught that. So
no, and you never will be.
No.
That stuff you have to go find written. I have a book on the Harlem, at least one book. The one that I always go to is on the Harlem Renaissance. It's about the photographers, the painters, the poets, the writers, the filmmakers that were all hanging out at that time in Harlem. And it's people that I wouldn't have known about had I not got these books. And then one book leads to another. So I know I have at least 6 or 8 books on the subject. And it's amazing the stuff that you're just not taught. They don't want you to know the truth about people for whatever reason. I don't know. But Harlem, when I bought this shirt, I love this shirt. It's one of my favorite designs. I was a graphic, I was in art school and graphic design, and I really love this shirt. But I used to go into Harlem a lot when I lived up there, and I never felt threatened, never felt out of place.
No, that's what
I wouldn't go there now.
People want you to think. Yeah, now it
I wouldn't
might be
go
a little
there now
different,
just because of the way the city is in general. But it's but then again, I wouldn't go to New York right now.
Well, yeah, and that's just it. I'm not going to put myself in a city anywhere, and that's. But I just thought that was interesting. Watching watching this old stuff, you start to see things as like, wow, they don't show that in movies today.
Well, to talk about Charlie Chan movies real quick. They did have a white guy always playing the lead for whatever reason. And I've always taken it from what I've been able to read, like Warner Oland and a few of these other guys that did Charlie Chan's character. They actually loved the character. And one of them actually bought the rights to do the movies or something. And I don't remember which one it was right off bat, but had bought the rights to do the movies. So if you bought the rights to do a movie, I'm going to star in it. If I bought the rights to be Indiana Jones, guess what? Guess who's Indiana Jones? I'm an older Indiana Jones, but I'm Indiana Jones, bitches. I'm going to do the Indiana Jones stuff. But it wasn't out of racism for this guy, for those guys that were doing it. They just liked the character. I mean, all of them loved the character. Key Luke, he was asked about it. And he's just like, it was an acting job. The guys were always nice to me, and there was every other person was Asian. They tried to get him to into a trap, and he didn't fall for it when he was older.
Let me speak on Key Luke. That's who I was going to always go to when this topic comes up.
Yeah,
he is, and I'm paraphrasing, and I remember reading an interview where he said, we had an Asian main character. We had an Asian hero. We had an Asian man in front of people at a time when that was not seen. We were now seen. Even though it was a white guy, it gave us representation. And I find that telling, So, yes, it doesn't mean it was right, but there was a silver lining. So.
It wasn't Mickey Rooney in
oh my God, Breakfast at Tiffany's? No.
All right. Let's just say that. It's nothing like that.
No, it's not.
One of my favorite characters, I mean, other than the sons in the Charlie Chan movies, is his daughter. When his daughter shows up, the older daughter. Because she's smarter than all the brothers. It's just funny because everybody always says, oh, women were always written this way or that way. And then you see these old movies, you're like,
that's what I'm saying.
They're all written as kind of tough and not want to put up with any crap. And then you realize the time period that this happened during World War II. And you're like, well, yeah, that totally makes sense that they would write these women this way. And then you see Charlie Chan's daughter come in and she's smarter than, number 2 son or number 1 son. And, the dad actually likes her better. You can tell by the way he treats his daughter. Like he prefers her company because she's almost a detective at that point, and she's probably 4 years younger than the other brothers. But it's just funny. And with Peter Lorre playing Mr. Moto, he plays the part really well. He's very subdued. He's not very physical. And then all of a sudden somebody tried to attack him and he beats the hell out of him. And you're like, wow, that's awesome. I want to see this character more. And I've watched a few of the Peter Lorre, Mr. Moto movies. They're always entertaining. The first one that he did, I think, is the hardest one to watch because he did play it over the top. And I think I'm going to assume Peter Lorre, being such a good actor, watched the final cut of that one and was like, I got to pull back on that. That's not what I intended.
Yeah, it probably wasn't.
That's what I was told to do, but that's not what I was intending. So I think he purposely pulled back on a lot of the stuff, like the assault that he did in the first one. That was like over the top. In this one, I think when you hear him saying it, it's more of a speech. Like it's me
more
saying,
of
"Hell yeah!"
Yeah, it's more of a little tick.
Yeah,
more of it's just something that he just responds with. It felt more natural. It didn't sound fake. It didn't sound like I'm told to say this. It sounds like I feel like saying this. And while it's odd, it still is much better. It's much more subdued. Yes, he definitely plays this better. I definitely I'm a fan of murder mysteries. They're fun to try and figure out.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend just hopping on YouTube, throwing in some Mr. Moto, Charlie Chan, and just watching them.
Mr. Wong's the old Mr.
Wong. I need to go watch Mr. Wong. I've never seen that.
You know what? Before we do the movie we were talking about, let's do a Mr. Wong.
Let's do it.
Mr. Wong's. Let's pull up a Mr. Wong. I'll do it right now while we're here. So the folks, if they want to watch it, they can watch it with us or watch it before we do our show. And it's Boris Karloff playing another Asian detective. And he's really good at it. But I think he must have seen some of these other ones. So he probably had a better idea how to go in and approach it,
Right. Yeah, looks like there's several on Amazon.
There's quite a few. There's how about we do, I think Mr. Wong Detective is the first one.
All right, let's do that.
We'll do that one. It's Mr. Wong
Detective.
Okay. It's on YouTube, folks. So if you want to watch it and then see what our review is, that'll give you a little heads up of what we want to do. And then Scott and I are going to do a little bit more modern movie. And the only reason I bring that up, Scott, is because you mentioned Mr. Wong and you want to watch one. It might be fun to do like two of these and compare them back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Absolutely. I am down. Let's see. It is available on Amazon as well. On Prime. Yes. Mr. Wong Detective 1938, folks. So, giving you a heads up on what we're going to be going through next. So if you are following along and watching, you can take a watch and see if you're what you think lines with Dave and I, or you think we're crazy for liking these old things, but whatever. You're crazy too because you tuned into us and our name's Old Ass Movies. I'm just saying. Yeah,
exactly. But as far as this movie, I highly recommend it. I like Peter Lorre as an actor anyway. Yeah. But I have a very strong fondness for I say Asian or the Oriental detective genre. I really would have liked, and I still would like to see Charlie Chan do a movie like this, where he is a detective in a time period, you set in a period piece. Not
you mean Jackie Chan?
No, I said Jackie Chan, didn't I?
No, you mean Charlie. Wait, okay, so you want to see a modern day Charlie Chan?
Do a Charlie Chan or a Mr. Wong or a Mr.
No, you said you wanted to see Charlie Chan, and I was like, this is going to be hard.
I meant Jackie Chan playing this type of character.
Oh, absolutely. I would love it. He's great.
He's an old detective. He can even make up his own detective. I don't care.
I'd like to see him do it. He's physical.
Because he could still pull it out. He's older, and you don't need him doing all the physical shit. No. He can have his number 1 son or number 10 son or whatever.
I think it would be great.
Do the fight scene, do some of the fight stuff, or bring in his daughter and have one of the girls, do the stuff. It would just be fun to see an actual Oriental guy play the part.
It would be nice to see it. It would be nice to see it as envisioned. And Jackie Chan.
I think yes. Yeah. The way that Carl DeBerger.
Yeah, and we throw out Jackie Chan. I always go to him because he's one of my favorites. He is an iconic actor, stuntman, amazing on screen to watch.
That's why
there's lots of. I'm not saying that's my only point of reference for Asian actors. There are a lot that could actually pull this role really well. But that's where I go to because I love Jackie Chan.
You know who would be a really good Mr. Moto, and I can't think of his name now because I'm terrible with names.
If you say Jet Li, I'm going to laugh.
No, Jet Li would be good just to play any of these parts.
Anything.
But I was actually thinking a good Mr. Moto would be the guy that was in shit. He was just in the time traveling movie.
Oh,
fuck! My mind just went blank. God damn it!
Oh well. Anyway,
no, I'm going to remember his name. Damn it!
You will not. You'll never remember. Dave does not remember names.
His name. The kid who played Short Round is now an adult.
Oh God, I can't think of his name. See? I know who it is.
Not just me, but that guy would be a good Mr. Moto. Because he's kind of small.
Amazing.
He's physical, and he's such a damn good actor. That dude could step into the Mr. Moto routine with, I don't think, any problem.
Yeah.
The problem would be finding a good enough story for him to do it.
Yeah. Well, they're there. They've already made them. They can just redo the stories. It's not. It's
moderate them up a little bit, make them an hour and a half, and.
I mean, I have watched multiple tellings of the same murder mystery. You know.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, how many times we're going to do an Agatha
Christie movie?
Yeah. You know? Yeah, especially now with Kenneth Branagh doing all these, which I did watch. I forget what the name of it was. Haunting in Venice.
You said that was good.
That was good. That was good. It makes me want to watch more. And watching this is like shit. I love detective movies. So
Kat and I watched Death on the Nile.
Was that good?
It was very good. It's on, I believe,
it's on Hulu,
on Tubi. And we were just in the mood for like an old detective stuff. Mia Farrow's in it, and a couple.
So it's an older one because there's a new version as well.
Yeah, this was the older one. This is the original one from the 70s, and we were watching 70s, 80s, and we were watching it, and we were like, "Shit, this is really good. This is solid. This is really good writing." So I enjoyed that a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's. I like those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Some things happened in that story that I didn't never remember seeing or hearing or remembering. And I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, my.
Just one of those kinds of things. But it was good. It's a good story. If anybody likes these kinds of murder mysteries,
cool.
The Miss Marple type stuff is always entertaining.
Oh, it is. It is. Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. We like old detective stuff and Batman, too. So
the old Batman serial. Got to watch those, folks. They're so goofy and silly, but they're great.
They have a place in at least my heart.
Yeah, so, I love them.
They're bad, so bad.
The ears flop. The ears little.
Oh my God! But as a kid, I loved watching that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it was. Did you ever watch the Captain America serial?
Mm-hmm.
You have seen the Captain America serial.
I have, along with Wonder Woman. I remember watching that. The Bionic Man.
No. I'm talking about the serials from the 30s and 40s.
No, I have not. I was thinking more the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I also remember
those were awesome.
ISIS.
ISIS. I remember watching ISIS and Shazam there. Yeah. The original Shazam would just throw a dude off a mountaintop and be done with it. There's this scene where he just grabs this guy and throws him. It's like, did he just kill that dude?
Probably.
Yep. He just killed that dude. There are no prisoners today, but it was, the hero of their day. So I love these old movies. I love stuff. So folks, next movie, Mr. Wong Detective.
Yeah. So hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Yes. And we will catch you next week.
Do we have notifications? If we have a notification, hit a notification.
I have no idea what that is. We will see next.
I know what it is. Everybody always says to hit notifications. I don't know what they do, but go ahead and hit it.
Later.